Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. Tonight, it'll be the Utah Jazz going up against the Houston Rockets. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, and we're pleased to have on the sidelines tonight David Aldridge. And a chance here to check out some stats for Fred VanVleet.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. At the guard position, VanVleet in green. Thompson is out there with Dylan Brooks. And it's Şengün in at the center, locking down the middle. And for the Jazz, wing pair will be Sexton and Markkanen. Filipowski's out there with Walker Kessler. And it's Collier in at the point guard position. There has been a lot of discussion about the length of the NBA season, GA. Do you think 82 games is the right number?
Well, I do. It's worked well for over 50 years, so why change it? And if we do change it, it affects records and how we compare the game across eras. Tenacious on the attack. Thompson is fantastic at finding lanes to the basket.
Pass to Kessler. Here's Collier. And the layup's good off the glass.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Nice shot by Thompson.
We see this night in and night out. Thompson uses his size and elevation to make tough shots in the paint.
Here's Collier. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Markkanen in the corner. Pass to Filipowski. 6 on the shot clock. Kessler, a screen on green. Utah needs to get off a shot here. Kessler with the bucket.
You can tell how much confidence Walker Kessler has as the roll man, ready to catch and score.
Great Colin Sexton, still so young. He entered the league when he was just 19.
Yeah, drafted back in 2018. Sexton has a few years left in his 20s, so you expect him to continue to expand his game and improve on both ends.
That's a great beginning. 3 for 3 from the floor.
Here's Collier, covered by VanVleet. Outside, Markkanen. Good on the three-point shot.
You know, outstanding start. You've made 3 of your first 4.
Rockets have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for them to start off this game. Thompson outside. Pass to Şengün. VanVleet outside. Şengün with the screen for VanVleet. Greg, what's the key thing Fred VanVleet brings to this offense?
I feel like he's really a centering presence, Kevin. The guys can look to him to call the play, to give them their orders, and trust that he's setting them up for success.
And the first one at the line is good.
I don't know how you cannot love Fred VanVleet. This guy brings toughness. He's fearless in the clutch. He competes on the defensive end, and his IQ is as good as it gets.
The Jazz making a switch here. Potter's checked in. And so VanVleet nails both of them. Doris, when you think of the Utah Jazz, where do they fit in a very competitive Western Conference?
Well, think about it, Kev. The Gobert and Mitchell era was successful, but they couldn't get to the ultimate prize. So then you trade those 2 players away, you get a load of picks. This is the direction you've chosen, but now it's going to take some time and some patience.
Here's Collier. Off target from outside. Green passes to VanVleet. And here is Şengün. Another shot. The rebound by Collier.
Pressured that shot by getting a hand up just as good as a block.
And he did it without fouling, and that's become an art, changing shots without making contact.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you. The Utah Jazz last season became one of the first teams in the league to move their games to broadcast television. It's a gamble, but they just about tripled their reach. And with the rapid growth in the region, they have a chance to attract new fans. And Kevin, no doubt, other NBA teams are keen to see how this goes.
Oh, David, no question at all. And we thank you for your report.
And there's a flexibility to Brooks' game. He can play a specific role for you, or he can be a high-usage guy. Really depends on what a team needs from night to night.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team.
Coming your way, let's hear you make some noise. Let's hear it, everybody. Who wants a free t-shirt?
Let's check out some stats for Thompson. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And back to what you said, top 5 in steals this year. Quick hands and great anticipation. To the wing right side. There's the pick. Here's Collier, covered by Van Vliet. Markkanen can't get it to go. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for Houston. 4-point game. Last time they met in Houston.
Well, they coasted to the win in that one. Were dominant in the rebound department, and that was a huge factor.
I think there was no question they brought a level of physicality along with a tremendous work ethic, and it was why they were successful.
Hey, DB, what do you make of Colin Sexton's nickname, Young Bull?
Kevin, I think it's a very apt moniker because this guy is relentless. He attacks you with his defense. He's going to come at you with a ton of youthful energy, and he will not back down.
A three-pointer is right on target.
He doesn't take a lot of time to make up his mind. Brooks always thinking ahead, and he's in position before the pass is made.
Kessler against Smith. Outside, Sexton. Banked in off the glass.
You love this. The pressure gets physical, and Colin Sexton doesn't blink. Nice job finishing through contact.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Thompson. Out to Brooks. Stolen by Kessler. Here's Collier, guarded by Green. Markkanen against Smith. Here's Collier. Sexton for three. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Rockets lead by 3. We've got more in store for you right after this. And getting going again here in the second quarter. Fairly close game so far. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Houston.
Right away, they showed us they weren't going to shy away from the mid-range game, and it's proving to be an effective tool for them.
Yeah, and in addition, their ball movement has really unleashed their offense. Boy, they've been fun to watch.
So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against Portland. We've got George, and it's Springer in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Holiday, no one around him. And it's off from three-point range. Jazz trail by 3. Here's George. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And the other thing, guys, he really got after it on the backboards. What a complete game for this guy.
They grabbed their own miss. Whitmore, nothing that time. He's 0 for 2. George looking over the floor. Every year, Greg, we get a new batch of rookies into the NBA, and sometimes we're all guilty of judging them too early.
Oh, absolutely. I think we need probably 3 years to evaluate a player. You know, fans and media can be a little harsh at times, but not everybody develops at the same rate.
And there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
The Rockets have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Holiday against George. Pass to Sensabaugh. And it's denied. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Eason. And we got to take a second look to admire that outstanding block.
And big defensive plays like that will help them stay in control of this one.
And Utah making a change here. Potter's checked in. Amen Thompson, he's checked in for Houston. Fred VanVleet comes in for Aaron Holiday. Outside, Martin. Pass to Williams. 5 on the clock. There's the pick. From downtown, drains it from beyond the arc. Williams has got himself on the board with 3 there. Rockets leading by 3. And Thompson kicks to Şengün. VanVleet outside. Good. And it's Şengün picking up the assist. 6 points for Fred VanVleet.
This guy is competitively tough and will not back away from physical defense. Go ahead, Fred VanVleet.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Williams. Whitmore defending. Bounce pass from Williams. And finished off by Martin.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
Now Eason. Here's VanVleet. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Boy, at his size, Fred VanVleet has to be so crafty on the interior. Defense has nothing for him there.
Pass to Potter. Into the lane. Goes up high for the 2-handed dunk.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
Well, credit him for going for it, not settling, saying, I'm going to attack.
Nice shot by Thompson.
Known as a terrific passer at his position, Şengün excels at finding the open man.
And Will Hardy calls timeout here. This will give them a chance to discuss some potential alterations.
Get ready, everyone. You see yourself on the screen and you show us your best move. Let's go. Keep on dancing. Bring on the move. Buckle up your dancing shoes at home.
Ends up going with the new group. The Rockets also changing it up. Smith checked in for Şengün. Brooks comes in for Tari Eason. And Jalen Green subbed in for Cam Whitmore. And it's Kessler, top of the key. Stolen by Thompson. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Out to Brooks. Outside, Green. Pass to Van Vliet. And some nice passing there by Houston. Thompson right side. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Green. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. Marking in from outside. They get it back. Sexton with it. And the shot falls short this time.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Shot's good by Green.
And almost any time he wants, Green can put the ball on the floor and make a play.
Here's Collier. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Collier's got his second basket of the game.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off. The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
I'll tell you, you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
Pass to Filipowski. Out to the right wing. Outside, Sexton. Offline with his 3. Rockets leading by 8. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. Jazz have gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Here's Collier. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Jabari Smith picks one up.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Utah shooting their first free throws of the game right now.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across the board, 77% collectively.
The free throw drops for Collier. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Here's Markkanen. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow!
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock. Nice job.
Well, finishing quarter strong. Every coach preaches it. Nice work.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Houston on top. They're up by 5. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
Hey, everybody. Psst. I got a secret. We're approaching the playoffs, and we are starting the show with a breakdown of the Western Conference standings.
You look at the Jazz, they're not going to make the playoffs. We knew that. But they did show glimpses of what they could eventually be. Unfortunately, all of that will have to wait till next year.
And so thinking about the first half of this game, it's likely we'll see some adjustments for the Utah Jazz.
We need a department store intercom. Attention all ballers, attention all ballers. We have a missing defense. Paging the defense, paging the defense.
That was pretty good, Shaq. You might have a future in retail.
Shaq, to register 4, please.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Fred VanVleet has been sensational.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
I don't know that you necessarily think of him as someone who's going to create for others, but boy, all night he's been willing to make the extra pass.
Rockets leading by 5. Starting the second half, here's Ime Udoka's 5. Running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Alperen Sengun out there with Amen Thompson. And it's VanVleet in at the point. Now, here's Thompson. Back to Brooks. Shot clock at 5. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Brooks has got the first basket of the 3rd quarter for Houston.
Oh, spacing the floor. Brooks is comfortable shooting it from deep.
Sexton the pass to Kessler. Pass to Collier. Here's Filipowski. Back to Markkanen. Here's Collier. Covered by VanVleet. That's good. The Houston lead is cut down now to just 6 on the basket from Collier.
Yeah, Markkanen's vision on display there. Very good awareness.
At the elbow, it's Thompson. Shoots over Filipowski. The shot by Thompson, no good. BB, one thing about Kessler, he will challenge anybody at the rim. Wow.
There's no question, Kevin. Walker Kessler is one of those guys who's not afraid to get dunked on. He is a rim protector of the highest order. He's going to win some, he's going to lose some, but he's always going to try to do his job.
Utah shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The first one falls. That one is no good. Rockets leading by 5. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
It helps that Thompson can score with either hand close to the bucket. Defenders can't force him to one side or the other.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over.
Your Utah Jazz breaker dance group.
Here's a peek now at the 2K leaderboard. This year, these teams have made the most of their offensive rebounds. The Rockets, number 1.
And that's the way they have to play in order to win. They've got rebounders, so they've got to go after those second and third opportunities whenever they can.
First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Pass to Markkanen. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Markkanen's got his third basket of the night right there.
Boy, he's got so much length that under duress, still able to finish. Go ahead, Lauri Markkanen.
Thompson, high post. Filipowski grabs the board. Jazz trailed by 5. Kessler, a screen on Van Vliet. Here's Collier. Lays it up off the glass. Collier's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And since halftime, this has become an intense ball game.
They are getting after it hard. It has become a real battle out there.
Count that one from Van Vliet.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Jalen Green has shown he's capable of carrying a team offensively. He said it feels good knowing that my teammates believe in me to do that. I've had to learn a lot of things to grow, but that's what I work for. I want to be one of those guys that you give the ball to in crunch time. Kevin, I always want to give the mic to you in crunch time. Back to you.
You are an unselfish playmaker, and I appreciate that. By the way, Green can be electric and so fun to watch. Hey, DA, thanks.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
Competitive, selfless, and a high basketball IQ. Şengün with the traits every coach loves.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Sensabaugh is checked in, and Georgia subbed in for Collier. Tari Eason's checked in for the Rockets. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Jazz trail by 3. Outside, Markkanen. Pass to Sensabaugh.
2 minutes remaining in the third.
Here's Kessler. Fred Van Vliet grabs the miss.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
Oh, nice mid-range. Jalen Green, I didn't know guys born in 2002 knew about that area of the floor.
Here's Filipowski following the basket by Jalen Green. And stolen by Eason. Here's Van Vliet. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Once Fred Van Vliet sees a few go down, this guy understands it's my night. I'm going to keep cooking.
Markkanen in the corner. Pass to Filipowski. Nice ball movement by Utah. Outside, Markkanen. Over to the left wing. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, easy call.
The Jazz shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
At the line for the Jazz, Filipowski, 2 shots.
That's good from Filipowski. The Jazz making a switch here. Potter's checked in. Houston also making some changes. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Şengün. Smith comes in for Thompson. And Cam Whitmore's subbed in for Fred Van Vliet. That one falls, so he hits both of them. 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter. Down low. Adams' shot is good. And the Rockets lead by 7.
Well, Steven Adams was a bit raw when he entered the league, but you can see right there how sound he has become as a finisher on the interior.
George passes to Filipowski. George against Green. Markkanen from outside. It's deflected. In the corner, it's Eason. Pass to Whitmore. Adams sets the pick for Whitmore. Shot clock at 6. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. And now a 9-point Rocket lead.
An old school shot from Whitmore. There is still some value in that mid-range.
Green against George. Over Green. Knocks down the step back Jay. George has got his first points of the night.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
And so it's the Houston Rockets, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be right back after this. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. George is out there with Williams. Then it's Martin. And it's Potter in at the 5 spot. That's the group right now for Utah. Here's Sensabaugh. The layup off target. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Houston. Outside Holiday. Pass to Şengün.
Highly skilled and intuitive. Şengün is a handful. This is where some people compare him to a Jokic.
Shooting for Houston, Alperen Şengün, 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break.
2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. Jazz trail by 8. Outside, George. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
This is where the length of Keontae George helps, right? Inside, he's so much longer than your typical guard.
Şengün with a screen on Williams. Bounce pass from Whitmore. And Şengün throws it down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's George. Over Holiday. Eason grabs the board.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
Here's Whitmore, defended by George. Pass to Şengün. Here's Eason. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Now, here's George. Here's Sensabaugh. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Back to Whitmore. Smith sets the pick for Whitmore. No good with the triple.
I'll tell you, despite his struggles at the offensive end, this team still finds themselves in control of the ballgame.
Holiday, the pass to Şengün. And Şengün throws it down.
Even without the explosive athleticism, Şengün still able to play above the rim.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. And that timeout by coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here. Houston with a big group substitution here. Amen Thompson, he's checked in for Smith. Brooks comes in for Tari Eason. Green, he's checked in for Cam Whitmore. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Aaron Holiday. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Able to listen in on Will Hardy's huddle with his team. Now he's encouraging them to keep attacking in the paint. He said, when we get inside, we score. Simple as that. Keep attacking and don't settle for anything that's not at the rim. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Now, here's Sexton. For three. Cans it from downtown.
This is a shot Colin Sexton has worked so hard to improve on. Can he be consistent from three-point range?
And here's VanVleet from the arc. 6 for 6. He's yet to miss from the field.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Here's Filipowski. Markkanen passes to Filipowski. Here's Collier. Three-pointer. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Şengün's got his 5th rebound in this one. Van Vliet deciding where to go with it. And the wide open shot from Green. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. Van Vliet's got 5 assists in the game. Pass to Markkanen. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. Here's Collier. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Thompson outside. Van Vliet outside. Sexton grabs the board.
Boy, 9 times out of 10, that's going in. I'm sure he surprised himself with the miss.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Rockets.
They simply ran him off the court.
They set the pace, and their transition game was executed flawlessly.
And in what's been a solid season, to say the least, tonight's game will push their win total now up to 53.
And on the season, this is going to be their 3rd win in 4 games against this team.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Fred Van Vliet.
No doubt he came to play tonight. This guy has been aggressive and effective.
Buries it down low. Sexton's got it back down to single digits for the Jazz. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Houston Rockets. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Pass to Thompson. Thompson is double. And some nice passing there by Houston. Screen by Şengün. Just 3 to shoot. And Thompson throws it down. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now, our player of the game, Fred Van Vliet.